Times were lean, but we scraped by in our humble little Delta home. Raised crawfish in the pond, traded them for rice and corn. When the muddy river rose up and on and it swallowed our whole town, left a 200-ton boat on the bridge with a prop just spinning around. Someday we're gonna rise above this tide, build a bridge across the great American divide. We'll be dancing in the street to a united heartbeat. Oh, someday we're gonna rise up.
Oh, gonna rise up.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Humanity Matters. I just want to tell you that I voted to save America today. And what I want to know is, are you brave? Are you a patriot? Well, we're going to find out tonight. But for now, I want to introduce you to our toughest steel host, Albert Turcaso.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Albert Turcaso. I am an American patriot. And yes, I voted to save America today. And I voted for the re-election of President Barack Obama. For those of you who have not voted yet, whether or not you are going to vote for President Barack Obama or not, you need to DVR my show, and you need to get up off the sofa, the chair, the bar stool, or wherever you may be in this great land, and you need to get to the polls. You need to vote. If you are an 18-year-old and you're not interested, and you don't think that you have a dog in this fight, you do. So drop everything. If you have to leave work, if you have to risk your job, it is that important. Your very life is at stake. And I know I may sound melodramatic. I am telling you something that almost no talk show host will ever tell you, and that is, it's okay to shut off my show and go vote. You can DVR it, but this is about life and death today, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, I voted for the president for re-election. Now, if any of you out there are brave enough to listen to this 1-hour show, I promise you, I will give you the reasons for voting for the re-election of President Obama. And I'm going to tell you some things that you just did not hear anywhere else in America. And the beautiful thing about this, even if you wait till 7 o'clock when the end of this show is, you still have 1 hour. If you live in Pennsylvania, you'll have 1 more hour to get out there and vote to save our nation. And if you're in California, you'll have at least 4 more hours. So come on, America. Come on, Pittsburgh, PA, Pennsylvania, and the rest of America. Let's save our nation. But before we do all that, I have to do something, little something here. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with
liberty and justice
for all. Let me say that again, since both of us were saying it a little bit off. I pledge allegiance. Let me just say it myself, please. I just want to make sure to get the gusto in there. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let us focus on that for a minute. It does not say two nations some under God, some atheism. It says one nation. And it doesn't say justice for the super wealthy, justice for the African Americans, justice for the white Americans, justice for the Chinese Americans, justice for the Russian, the Hispanic, or any of that. What does it say? Justice for all. And that, America, that, my fellow Pittsburghers, that, my fellow conservative Republicans, that, my fellow progressive Democrats, that, my libertarians, that, anybody and everybody, that right there is the reason I voted for the re-election of President Barack Obama. And I pray to God, and atheists, if you get offended, too bad, I pray to God, and I pray to the Lord Jesus Christ, that Mr. Obama gets at least 277 electoral votes, plus wins the popular vote. And it's not because he's the greatest thing since sliced potato chips, but it is because you are. Everybody in this building, from Andy to John to Gladys to Darlene to Eric to Katrina, and everybody and anybody that may be here, your lives matter. From the wealthiest person on this planet to the poorest person in America. I'm fighting for you. And I am even fighting for those of you who voted for Mitt Romney. Because you may have voted your emotional or religious convictions. But you may have forgotten what our country is really about. And with that, let us listen to the words of the Constitution read by Annette Bernice Mendel. And then we'll get into why you need to get to the polls before they close. Yeah, hang in there with me. I don't care how conservative you are or how liberal you are. Hang in there with Albert Turcassa, because I promise you, I will tell you the truth. And I will tell you the truth that will set all of us free. But with that, Annette, would you please read what the Founding Fathers said?
We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
That's right. It's for all of us. So with that, you know, I have so much information. It's a wee bit hard to start off. But let me just start off by saying something. Tonight, you have a chance to save our nation. But let us just say that you've been listening to all the negative ads of both sides. Make this vote not a vote because of your religious upbringing and religious beliefs. Make this vote not because of the social entitlements or you don't like gay marriage or whatever it is. Don't put any of that into that. Make this a purely financial and constitutional vote. What do I mean? I want you to close your eyes for a minute and ask yourself this question. When this election is over, will you be financially better over the next 4 years, worse, without certain safety nets or with certain safety nets? And do you feel that you are invincible and that you do not need any help from the government? But make it a financial vote. And with that, let me bring up the subject of Medicare. President Obama did take $716 billion out of the Medicare system. But it did not take one penny of benefits away from any of our senior citizens now or future. In fact, America, it saved our senior citizens money. There's something called the loophole, where you reach a certain level of, you have a certain level of what they would call wealth, so you are required to put money out for your prescriptions in between a certain level. The bill and the laws that Obama and Congress passed eradicates that over time. And last year, senior citizens received $250 towards the purchase of their prescription drugs. This year, it is down to roughly 50% of the cost. And if we do not destroy Medicare by 2018, no senior citizen will fall into the loophole of the donut hole, and we will save millions of dollars for our older Americans. Now, conversely, under the Romney plan, there is a very good chance that all Medicare recipients, whether they get there 5 years from now or currently are on it, will be asked to spend as much as $6,400 extra a year that they don't spend now. So they need an extra $6,400. Let's round that off. Let's say that under the Romney-Ryan Medicare, it's $6,000. Well, what that means is if you're a senior citizen and you're lucky enough to live for 10 years after you start receiving Medicare, that is $60,000 that will be coming out of your pocket. And let's say you live for 20 years. That's $120,000. What will that do to your retirement if you're blessed to have a retirement? America, this is not what we should be doing for our senior citizens. Now, you can hate what you call Obamacare, but did you know that Obamacare is helping to prevent cancers by getting women and men pre-screenings that are now included for free or low cost? We are improving the lives of all Americans. And yes, it may eventually cost all of us a little bit more money. But if we really care about our fellow human beings and we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, not the me first state, but everybody, if we care, it is the patriotic duty to care about our senior citizens. It is the patriotic duty to care about the 18-year-olds and the college kids and the interns, that we even have an intern right now in our studio. I care about that person's future. So you better believe I voted for Barack Obama. And I'm praying that he gets it. He gets in. Because here's the thing. If he doesn't, there are going to be so many terrible things that happen to our nation, not just over the next 4 years, but over possibly the next 30. Because keep in mind that justices for the Supreme Court are appointed for life, and that it is estimated that 2 or 3 of the justices will be leaving the Supreme Court within the next 3 years. So we could end up with a completely conservative court, which could eliminate much of our civil, legal, and privacy rights, even worse than they are now. So if you think, oh, this is just about Mitt Romney and Barack Obama, no, it's not, ladies and gentlemen. It's about your life. But let's get back to the financial equation again. You might say, well, I'm not on Medicare, and this Obamacare is actually costing me money. It may be, but you can also get subsidies for that. But let's think about the reality of it. Let's do a reality check. Back when Bush was still in office, the last year that he was in office, gasoline rose up to about $4.30, and in some cases over $4.80. When President Obama got elected, and since that very day, we have never seen those record high costs again. We got close for a while, last couple months ago. We did start going up to almost $4, but we did not get to that level. So think about that when you're voting. Your gasoline is cheaper, which means your food is cheaper, which means you can afford more to take care of yourself. And if you want to be greedy, you can have more money in your pocket. I'm not saying you're greedy, but let's think about it. Let's think about our own self-interest for a minute. Yeah, maybe we want more money in our pocket. Well, if you're spending less for gasoline, less for food, and less for everything, which you are, by the way, statistics have shown that, then you are putting more money in your pocket. Now, to the matter of jobs. And I'm going to have Annette give you at least 30 accomplishments that the president has done. But the matter of jobs, I have to burst your bubble. If you think that the trickle-down theory, the Republicans' way of creating wealth and jobs, you actually believe that propaganda. Did you know over the last 60 years, Democratic administrations, I'm talking about Obama, Clinton, Kennedy, and all those guys. Under Democratic administrations, we have gained 42 million jobs, and many of them high-paying career jobs. 42 million over the last 60 years. Republican administrations, the ones that say, we create jobs, we cut taxes, we create jobs, that's a lie. That's a lie. Do you know how many jobs over the last 60 years they created? Republican administrations have only created 23 million jobs, a difference of roughly 19 million. So if you are a conservative and you want more jobs in America, more security, and more money in your pocket, you need to get out there and vote for President Barack Obama, because that's a reality. And let me hit you with another reality. In President Bush's 8 years, he created roughly 3 million jobs, caused his actions and the private sector's actions caused a great recession, and he only created in the entire 8 years 3 million jobs. Maybe less than that, actually, a little bit less, but roughly 3 million jobs. Then comes in President Obama. He fights to get us right, to right the wrongs, to get people working again, to fix the financial crisis, and yada, yada, yada. You know all that part. But in 4 years, this president, who's been ripped apart verbally and many other ways by the Republicans, this president, under these extreme conditions, this president, in 4 years, has created 5.4 million jobs. Now, if you are a person who wants to see our country do better and get more money in your pocket, vote for him based on that, based on the financial equation. He created 5.4 million. Now, if we factor in the fact that he saved the auto industry, he saved an additional million jobs. So then if we were to add that, it in effect means that our president of the United States of America, Barack Obama, created 6.4 million jobs. And the foundation is in place. Now, people will say, I'm a Democrat, and that is why I'm fighting to get Obama elected. But that's not true. I am a Democrat, and I want Obama to get elected, but not because he's the greatest thing since sliced potato chips. Why do I want him to get elected? To save America, to save jobs. And quite frankly, I must use this against Mitt Romney, and I hate to do it, but I must do it. I'll put Donna on the phone in a minute, but I have to do this, ladies and gentlemen. Mitt Romney said that the president wanted to protect you from the ocean. He wanted to protect you in your jobs. Well, you know what? Hurricane Sandy hurt and destroyed a lot of Americans. And yet, Mitt Romney doesn't even want to acknowledge the possibility of global warming or climate change. Do you want a president in there who will not even look at the science? Do you want to survive another Sandy? Or worse, we had Katrina, and you saw the actions of then President Bush. But now we have Obama working his grass off to help the people, and he even is working with a staunch Republican, Chris Christie. So we need to add these things up, ladies and gentlemen. So get to the polls and vote for the president. Now, you know what? I've done a lot of talking. Yes, I'm a loudmouth. But you know what? I'm not here praying that Obama wins because I think he's the greatest thing. He's done things wrong. We've all done things wrong. Let me remind you that if you don't like the president, if you hate the president, you don't think he's done a good job, he who is without sin cast the first stone. And every one of you out there, whether you are Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, reform, I don't care what you are, you have created a sin and committed a sin. You're an atheist, guess what? You don't believe in sin, but you committed them anyway. So with that, let me just wake up the dead if we need to. The reality is, if Obama does not get reelected, gasoline prices by the end of Romney's term will go to $7.50 a gallon. That's my prediction. And I'm the guy who predicted $4 a gallon 3 years before it actually happened, because I've seen the pattern. So if Romney gets in, get ready for $7.50 a gallon, which, by the way, to get 10 gallons at that point, just to get 10 gallons, over $75. Well, exactly $75. And by the way, if you're a woman or a senior citizen and you don't vote for President Obama, when you lose your Medicare, or you're paying out all this extra money, or you lose certain rights as a woman, don't come crying to me. Don't come crying to yourself, because you have the chance to stop it in its tracks. And let me tell you something. If President Obama is reelected, I'll make a commitment to you. If he does wrong, I'll come on here. I'll tell you about it. I'll write to him. I'll call him. Heck, I have the White House phone number on my cell phone right now, and I have called the White House. How many of you can actually say you've called the White House? I have called the White House with Democratic administrations. I have called the White House under Republican administrations. I have called the White House when Barack Obama is president. I've called when the first Bush, the second Bush, and Clinton has been president. And the number that I have called, get ready for it, 202-456-1111. I have called the White House. You see, I don't make boasting and make outrageous claims. I follow through. Because why? Because I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Not for the few, not for the well-to-do, not for those who have an education or who has 10 times the inflation in financial wherewithal. I do it for all of us. And if you really care about America, you'll get out and you'll vote for the president who gives a rat's claw about you. With that, we're going to put Donna on the line, and then we're going to go to Annette, and she's going to tell you some of the president's accomplishments. That's right, some of the president's accomplishments. But first, we got Donna May on the phone.
Hi, Donna.
I can't hear Donna. Hello, Donna. Where's Donna?
Hello. I can't hear you. You need, Ray might have to fix something because I can't hear you.
I can't hear you. I can't do anything. I'm over here on live television, Donna.
You can't hear me and I can't hear you.
I can hear you now, Donna.
Well, it ain't my fault. You'll hear it later. We are recording it.
I said I hear you now.
You hear me, but I can't hear you.
Well,
the
say
Star
what
Bright
you're
Lynn
gonna
said
say.
hello. She's watching you on TV. She said Pap Pap's a movie star.
Keep
I don't know if
going.
you heard me say that.
I did. Now keep going.
Okay, I hear you. I see you nodding your head, but I can't hear what you're saying. But we got to send our condolences out to the Pear family and say your prayers for the Nash family and the Ringenson family. Happy birthday to Scott Dunn. Happy birthday to Yvonne and Dave Zigalotti, or whatever, however you pronounce it. And anniversary to Yvonne and Jason Heiss. Oh, now I hear that beeping noise or whatever.
Sorry. Keep going, Donna.
And happy birthday to Mike Crayley. And hello to Jeff Hayden and Luke Holden and Jimmy Anderson. I can't read my own writing because I can't see. And hello to Chucky and the Cavendish family in Ohio. And how is everybody tonight?
Well, I'll be better once the president wins re-election.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm tired of hearing about it.
Well, you know what? You're going to hear about it even tonight, Donna, until we win. But at any rate,
He gets in.
Donna May, listen to me.
Albert Turcasso.
Donna May, listen to me.
I'm listening. I always listen.
I'm a fighter, Donna, and I'm fighting for every American. And I'm not going to quit fighting. And if they don't get out there and vote, I might just have to cuss them out. I may have to have a midnight show. Because if I cuss you out, Eddie Murphy will blush.
Well, you're going to have to yell at everybody in this house because nobody voted today.
Well, certainly Kathy's in major trouble with me. Yeah, Kathy, I mean you.
Well, she didn't vote today.
Oh, you wait. She's going to vote if I can get there in time. Any rate, well, we're going to move on, Donna, because I want you to watch this video. It's very, very important, my dear.
Oh, great, my dear. Hi, Annette. How are you? You sick or something?
She's talking.
No, hi.
You look kind of bored or something.
She's not
No,
bored. She's worried.
I'm worried.
Why? What's wrong?
I'm worried that the president might not win.
He better
Oh,
win.
don't look that upset. My goodness. You still have a president. Well, why don't Hal run for president? He'd make a good one.
Hey, don't put me into that right now.
Why not? You always say you're going to run for president one day.
Hey, I'm not commenting on that. At any rate, can we move forward, Donna?
All right. Hi, Ray. You have
You're
a
gonna
good
get
night,
me in
honey.
trouble,
You be
Donna.
careful going home. And you guys be careful. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, God bless you and God
Good
bless
night.
America.
Good night. God bless America.
That's right. Hey, keep tuning in, Donna, because I got a surprise for you later.
You're going to make me Miss Stewie and Brian, aren't you?
Good. Just keep watching.
You know, they're important, too.
Keep watching. All right, we're moving forward, America.
Good night.
Good night. You didn't say
night.
good night to
Good
Andy.
night. Talk to you later.
Donna, you didn't say good night to Andy or John. Our people working tonight.
I said, his name's Ray, and I said good night to him. I told him to be careful going home.
Well, say good night to John and Andy.
Huh?
Say good night to John and Andy.
Good night, John. Good night, Andy. Good night, John boy.
You're going to get smacked in the nose. No, you're not. All right, we're done.
might feel good.
You can kill the call now.
See, I got...
Oh, Mama. All right, John, let's go ahead with the 5-minute tape roll. We'll wait until that starts. We're good. If you have a problem with it, just let me know. We're good. Hi, gang. Thanks, first of all. Thanks for watching the live episode of Humanity Matters. Are You Brave? Now, I want to tell you something. We're doing this message, or we're doing this what they call tape roll. Now, I'm here to tell you something today. I've been telling you over the years how financially distraught I am. How I haven't had this opportunity, that opportunity. And I've told you that I've been looking for an opportunity. Well, I may have found a corporation that, quite frankly, may be one of the best opportunities that I've ever had in my life. And I became what they call an internet business owner. Now, in reality, I haven't made a penny yet. And as a matter of fact, I am still learning the business. And, quite frankly, it's going to take a while.
But this could be the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm not allowed to say much because this is public access, and it could be construed as advertisement. But I can tell you that the organization that I am working with is in line with my personal Humanity Matters mission, which is to bring people in to work on giving them financial independence. This company has integrity, and quite frankly, they have Christian values. If you're an atheist, believe me, they don't turn anybody away. They have people of every religion, and they have atheists too. But they have that background, that principle, what have you. Anyway, get down to the business at hand. This is an organization that has been around for over 53 years. And this could be the opportunity of a lifetime for me to finally get out of this financial disaster. And quite frankly, eventually have an independent life. Financially independent life. Work when I want to work, go where I want to go. So why am I telling you? Am I boasting? Heck no, you know better than that. I'm telling you because I want you to at least inquire as to what I'm talking about. But we can't talk about that here on public access. So you know what? I can't tell you. I can't tell you that this opportunity may change your life. I can't promise you anything, but there's a possibility. Now, what I can do is tell you to email me at my brand new business email address. It's LBIZ, that's ALBIZ. You type in 22, that's lbiz22h@gmail.com. And I can put you in with put you in touch with the people that I got in touch with to get this opportunity. But I'm going to tell you something. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. And you may be in this thing for 5 years or the rest of your life, and you may make an extra income, an extra part-time income, or an extra full-time income. Can't say anything. The only thing I can guarantee you, one thing is, that if you ask me for the information, you may be able to be involved with something that can change your life financially and mine. That's all I'm saying. I didn't say to join. I didn't say it would. But you know what? I'm going to tell you something. Part of the Humanity Matters mission is for me to finally get financially well-to-do, educationally well-to-do. But as I move up in life financially and educationally, I don't want to go there by myself. I don't even want to go there with my panel, my co-host. I want to help change your life. Yours. Yeah, you. You sitting at home. And you know what? I don't care if you're Republican, you're a Democrat, you're independent. I don't care what your political or religious stripe is. I want to help you change your life for the better. This may, I repeat, may be that golden opportunity. Now, it's totally possible. This may not work out for me. It may not work out for you. But if I was betting in Vegas, if I was a betting man and I was betting in Vegas, I'd say, being that this company's been around for as long as it has, and the government never tore into them, I'd say the odds are pretty freaking good that it's going to help you. How much so depends on you. And you know what? It is going to take work. You're going to have to read or listen to audio CDs, maybe go to meetings and do all that, and change your mindset. So it's not going to be something that you just go, wow, I got all this money. No, it ain't going to be like that. And you don't want it to be like that. You know why you don't want it to be that way? Because first of all, if like
Hi, everybody. Before I begin this report, I'd like to personally say that our hearts go out to the victims of Hurricane Sandy and Katrina still, and just that God is with you and everybody's with you, and you just need time to recover, and you will with time. And that's all I want to say. And, well, our great president is helping out a lot, and that just goes to show why we need to vote him in again. But here's a report from www.washingtonmonthly.com magazine, April 2012, features Obama's top 50 accomplishments, 035755.php. That's the website. And the report is by Paul Glastris, Ryan Cooper, and Siyu Hu. Here's one of the accomplishments out of the 50. He passed health care reform after 5 presidents over a century failed to create universal health insurance, signed the Affordable Care Act 2010. It will cover 32 million uninsured Americans beginning in 2014. It mandates a suite of experimental measures to cut health care cost growth, the #1 cause of America's long-term fiscal problems. It passed Wall Street reform, signed the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform and Consumer Protection Act 2010 to re-regulate the financial sector after its practices caused the Great Recession. The new law tightens capital requirements on large banks and other financial institutions, requires derivatives to be sold on clearinghouses and exchanges, mandates that large banks provide living wills to avoid chaotic bankruptcies, limits their ability to trade with customers' money for their own profit, and creates the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, now headed by Richard Cordray, to crack down on abusive lending products and companies. Ended the war in Iraq, ordered all U.S. military forces out of the country. Last troops left on December 18, 2011. Began drawdown of war in Afghanistan from a peak of 101,000 troops in June 2011. U.S. forces are now down to 91,000, with 23,000 slated to leave by the end of summer 2012. According to Secretary of Defense Leon Panetta, the combat mission there will be over by next year. Eliminated Osama bin Laden in 2011. Ordered Special Forces raid a secret compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan, in which the terrorist leader was killed and a trove of al-Qaeda documents was discovered. Turned around the U.S. auto industry in 2009, injected $62 billion in federal money on top of $13.4 billion in loans from the Bush administration into ailing GM and Chrysler in return for equity stakes and agreements for massive restructuring. Since bottoming out in 2009, the auto industry has added more than 100,000 jobs. In 2011, the big 3 automakers all gained market share for the first time in 2 decades. The government expects to lose $16 billion of its investment, less if the price of the GM stock it still owns increases. Okay, back to Al.
All right, we're going to have Annette read this little index card a little bit later if we have a minute. But what that tells you about this president is he had a Congress for the last 2 years that basically would not vote on almost any bills that he can sign into law. Even with that, he has accomplished more than 50 amazing things that have protected us in terms of Homeland Security, your life and mine. He's made our defense and our veterans stronger and healthier. He's financially saved our potatoes or our rear ends or whatever you want to call it. So this is a good, strong leader. This is the kind of leader that you just don't vote out in the middle of a financial stress test. We're still not out of the woods yet. And I will tell you this. If you reelect President Obama tonight, before the end of his term, I predict we will be down to 4% unemployment or better. That's right, 4% or better. And not only will we be having more jobs, but we will have more high-earning jobs. And we will quit outsourcing jobs to other nations and throwing away our industries like the new iPhone that everybody seems to want, but it is made in China. When are we going to have a president that demands our iPhones are made in America? And I love all countries, so don't think that I'm an isolationist. But if we do not start teaching our children and our college-educated adults, and we do not start manufacturing and creating new industries, well, it won't matter if Obama or Romney or Bozo the Clown becomes the president. Because let me tell you, America, it's time to get off the drugs and the alcohol and wake the heck up. Our careers and our security and our jobs are being shipped overseas in unprecedented levels. And our government actually has a law where corporations like the Hershey Candy Corporation actually gets money for taking jobs out of the United States and taking them to South America or Mexico or other places. They're getting paid to throw your job in the trash. And Mitt Romney supports this. So let me ask you a question, America. So you don't love Obama, that's fine. But do you love your child? Do you love yourself? Do you love our nation? Because if the Hershey Corporation, a staple in Pennsylvania for more than 100 years, is now manufacturing their candy in Mexico, and if you call for service from Dish Network or DirecTV or something, those service jobs, those tech support jobs are in India or China or Canada, or they're in the Philippines or Vietnam. They're not here. Think of the millions and millions of jobs that are being thrown away. And Mitt Romney rewards, his policies would reward the companies for leaving. Our president may not be perfect, but he wants to reward companies for bringing their business back, which means jobs for you. It means lower taxes if he does another thing, which is to make the corporations pay their taxes. Even he hasn't done that. We need to work on that. We, the people, need to petition. And we don't need to change Obama to get a better country, to get Andy a higher paying job, to get John a higher paying job, to get me and Annette a higher paying job. We don't need to make that change. We need to demand a change in Washington in their mindset and make the corporations pay their legal share of taxes. Let me remind you that General Electric made $101 billion in 2009. They did not pay 1 penny in taxes. And then the government ended up giving them $1 billion free. So it's like getting money for free after not paying your share. Now that, by the way, that policy came from the Bush administration, the previous one. So why are we rewarding companies for leaving and killing our jobs and killing your life and your career? Why are we rewarding them and giving them money to leave? Or if they don't pay taxes, we're giving them money? Why? You don't like Obama? Fine. Vote for the president, and I guarantee you America will become stronger, healthier, happier, and you will get more money in your pocket. Now, I'm not going to tell you Obama told me this, but it's common sense, America. And that's what I want you to do. So if you didn't vote yet, stop watching the show. Get the heck off of the sofa. If you're in a bar, put the alcohol down. If you're in a coffee shop, put down the computer, shut it off, and leave and get to the polls. And then after that, go back to your drinking or your coffee or whatever it is. Get to the polls. Vote for this man. Because if you don't, life and death will happen in America in unheard of ways. If we keep screwing around with Medicare, our senior citizens are going to have to find $6,000 that they don't have now. What is that going to do to them? Or what if you're a disabled American, such as I am? What if Romney cuts off Social Security, disability, or Social Security altogether? What are we going to do? People will end up perishing or being on the streets, or we will increase crime. So it is time, America, to wake up. And I'm not trying to be mean. Now, I know I see my sister and another call's waiting. We'll try to get to that call. But for a minute, I want to do something that can be very offensive. And I don't mean it to be that way. But I'll give you one last reason to vote for President Obama. And it's a comical one, but it's actually true. Now, this came directly from Wikipedia.org/moron/Book of Mormon. As we know, Mitt Romney's religion is Mormon. But did you know that the Book of Mormon actually has a moron in it? That's right, it's a moron. Now, I ain't trying to be mean. I got to go a little Eddie Murphy here for a minute. So you have to excuse me for a minute on this. I got to go a little Eddie Murphy. Now, I want you to think about this. You are going to go vote for a guy who believes in a land of morons. There's not just one moron in the Book of Mormon. There's a land of morons, ladies and gentlemen. And you are going to vote for a guy that believes in a land of morons. But you know, that may not make you laugh. The fact that there's a land of morons and everybody in that land was a moron. That's bad enough. You must be smoking a pipe if you vote for this man personally. But you know, it gets worse. Moron's name of his grandfather. Moron was the grandson. And when I tell you the truth, the name of the grandfather of Moron was Aha. I swear to you, A-H-A-H. Aha. So it's like, aha, this ain't nothing but a bunch of morons. And the man was the king of the land of the morons. And his granddad was Aha. Now, I'm sorry. But if you're going to go and vote for a man who believes in Aha and a bunch of morons, and you're going to let him have the finger by the button, you need to get off the caffeine. You need to get off the cocaine. You need to get off the crack. You need to get off the heroin or the marijuana or whatever you're taking. Because if you're going to vote in a man that believes in a land of morons, I guess he believes in the land of fairy tales. And I guess he does believe in, to get serious for me, he must believe in a land of fairy tales. Because apparently there's no global warming in the mind of Mitt Romney, but yet we're having the worst storms in the history of the planet. Apparently there's no climate change, but yet our brothers and sisters in New York were decimated. Come on, America. You're going to vote for a guy that believes in morons? And no offense to the religion of Mormonism, but you know, I used to have them proselytize to me. And this one time, this is a true story. One time I said, well, why don't you read a passage randomly from the Book of Mormon? And that's when I found out there was a moron in the Book of Mormon. Excuse me. I found out there was a moron in the Book of Mormon. I'm sorry, that's hard to do. Let me try it one more time. I found out that there was a moron in the Book of Mormon. And they said, and Moron was the son of Ethan. I said, wait a minute, hold the phone. I said, wait a minute, moron? You got a moron in your book. And you expect people to believe that. And they said, well, back then, moron didn't mean what it means. And I said, I don't care if it meant it back then or not. How are you going to tell me that I should believe in the land of morons? They're stupid. So no offense. But come on, people. Are we on crack? Is 40%, is 40 or 50% of America on crack? Come on, America. I mean, come on. You're going to vote for a guy that believes in morons? And I'm not making this up. You can go and you can look in the Book of Mormon yourself and look in the index. They got a moron. They don't just got one moron. They got a king of the morons and they got a bunch of morons. Well, I'm sorry, America. You want to call me partisan? Fine. You want to call me a socialist? Fine. You want to call me an Obama-nite? Fine. But you're never going to call me a moron. Because I ain't stupid. And anybody that votes for that man is worse than a moron. Because he wants to harm women. He wants to kill public broadcasting system. He wants to kill off Sesame Street. Now, if you're a poor asteroid person like I am, and you're broke, Sesame Street can help teach your children. But he wants to get rid of it. And let me tell you a little secret. I never knew the American Civil War existed until I saw the Civil War documentary by the great Ken Burns. If Romney has his way and PBS goes down the toilet, there's no more Ken Burns. There's no more Discovering America. There's no more Flying Over Pittsburgh. None of that. It's all gone. For what? A man that don't give a damn about you? Excuse my language, but ladies and gentlemen, it's time to wake up. This is life and death. And as far as gay marriage thing, I got to throw this in there. Heck, I already committed and picked on the Mormons. I ain't against them, but that is stupid. Believing in morons, weird. Anyway, you want to talk about gay marriage? Let me get you some gay marriage right here. This little thing is called the Constitution of the United States. You know what it says? Equality for all. So if we don't want gay marriage in America, eventually this is going to go to the United States Supreme Court, and they're going to have two decisions. One is to make every marriage that ever existed in the United States invalid, including your parents and your own marriage, would now become non-void. Yeah, I'm serious. It would no longer exist. It would be wiped off the books, or they must, under the laws of the Constitution that deals with equality, they have to grant gay marriage. Now, that doesn't mean you have to like gay marriage. That doesn't mean I have to like gay marriage, but it is our rights as Americans. Now, let me tell you something else. Back in the day, they killed Native Americans simply because they were Native Americans. In America, we killed off Native Americans just because they were Native Americans. Back in the day, black people couldn't even go in the same restaurant with you. Now, we want to subjugate gays because they don't happen to be heterosexuals. But you can erase all that, ladies and gentlemen. Forget all that stuff. Just throw it down the toilet.
I have to interrupt
Give me
you.
1 second.
We
Forget
have
that
to
for.
sing.
I know we're going to sing in a minute. Forget all that for 1 minute. When this election is over, if you lose money, if gas goes up to $7.50, if you lose your rights as a woman, if you're put back in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant, it won't be my fault. It will be yours. Now, I ain't trying to be mean, but ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about going back to the racist days. We're talking about going back to the women in the house barefoot and pregnant with no kind of rights days. And we're talking about hurting our senior citizens. And I won't stand for it. I'm not going to stand for it. Why? Why? I'll give you a good reason why. Because I believe I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, in liberty and justice for all. But you know what? With all that, whether you vote for Romney and you're on dope or not, that's fine. You want to be on crack and vote for an idiot, excuse my language, but that's what he is. Anybody who wants to kill off Big Bird is an idiot. Anybody that says the 47% is a bunch of wannabe layabouts is an idiot. So, Romney, you're an idiot.
We have to sing.
But even though you're an idiot, Romney, you still matter to me. I still love you. I think you're an idiot, but I still love you. But before all that, why am I doing what I'm doing? Here's the reason.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, our home, sweet home.
Yeah, I know I can't sing. That's why I'm doing this, for you. And one last thing, we got 3 minutes left. I'm sorry we didn't get to the other calls. But who cares about the calls? I want you to get out there and vote to save our nation. Everybody always wants to call me a socialist. You can't see this. This is 2 candidates for president and vice president of the Socialist Equality 2012 Party. And it's Jerry White and Phyllis Solomon. So if I were Mr. Marcellus and all of you out there that called me a socialist, if I were truly a socialist, I would not have voted for President Barack Obama. I would have voted for a socialist. I am a pragmatist. Quite frankly, I'm a conservative, really. I want money in my pocket. I want money in your pocket. I want you to live and be healthy. Because one more time, I'm going to pledge allegiance not only to the United States of America, but to the citizens of the United States of America. With that, get out there and vote right now. And please, for the sake of your future, the sake of your grandchildren, and for the sake of this nation and the jobs in this nation, I ask you, I plead with you, and I ask the Lord God, Father God, Lord Jesus Christ, make Mr. President Obama be re-elected. With that, everybody, every Republican, I love you all. I don't agree with your politics, but I love you all because you and humanity really does matter.
Times were lean when we scraped by in our humble little Delta home. Raised crawfish in the pond, traded them for rice and corn. When the muddy river rose up and on and it swallowed our whole town. Left a 200-ton boat on the bridge with a prop just spinning around. Someday we're gonna rise above this time, build a bridge across the great American divide. We'll be dancing in the street to a united heartbeat. Oh, someday we're gonna rise up. Now in this hour of tragedy, it seems like everyone is torn between red and blue, left and right. Well,